Well, holy smokers, folks, if you ever want your flapjacks flipped, this is a week in which your flapjacks could get flipped, okay? We're going to get into what's going on here this specific week. I'm recording this on a Sunday night, no edit video here, so I hope you guys enjoy this. Don't forget to smash as always. But needless to say, there's going to be trillions of dollars that move around in the stock market this week. And I want to give my perspective. I want to explain what's going on this week and what I think is going to transpire here and what you should be looking out for. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this as always. Let's just get straight into it. So in terms of Monday, not a lot going on in terms of the morning. Kimberly-Clark's reporting. I'm going to be looking for their numbers, any guidance there, anything they have to do, say about cost pressures, things like that. It's kind of relevant for me in regards to Honest Company, which is a stock I just started buying very recently. I plan to continue to buy for the coming months. The difference, though, is Kimberly-Clark's an already built-out business with very low growth. Honest Company has a huge runway of growth over the next 10 plus years or so, but still, sometimes some of the cost pressures for a business like Kimberly-Clark will also go into a company like Honest. So I'm going to be paying attention to that. After the bell, two big stocks that I'm going to be personally paying attention to: Facebook, FB, and Logitech. Okay, so Facebook, everybody's wondering what's going to happen here with Facebook, right? If you notice, the stock got hit on Friday. It was down 5%. Now, Snapchat was what pushed this stock down. Snapchat was down 26% on Friday. 26%, just absolutely a disastrous day for a Snapchat, and that pushed Facebook down, and it pushed, honestly, all the stocks that kind of are advertising giants, let's call it that. They pushed them all down. A lot of people have very low expectations for Facebook, so that's good. However, if Facebook still disappoints, I wouldn't be surprised if the stock goes down. I just think there's already a lot priced in. A lot of people are expecting bad numbers from Facebook this quarter. A lot of people are expecting worries around Facebook, and we'll have to see. I think this is the most important quarter for Facebook to report here that probably ever as a public company, or at least in the last 7-8 years plus. Okay, this is a huge quarter for them. Logitech, going to be paying attention to that one after the bell on Monday as well. And the reason being is Logitech is a competitor to a company I've been buying for 6-9 months now, just relentlessly, which is Corsair Gaming, CRSR stock. And Logitech is a competitor to Corsair Gaming, so I want to hear what's going on with Logitech. Now, generally speaking, if Logitech's business is healthy, Corsair's business is going to, generally speaking, be healthy. Logitech competes a little differently in the markets than somebody like a Corsair Gaming. Corsair Gaming's heavier with gamers and streamers. Logitech's a little heavier in just overall people that buy computer equipment. Let's just put it that way, right? Cameras, keyboards, everything like that. So, needless to say, those are going to be two very, very important stocks. And those stocks, I'm directly invested in Facebook, and Logitech could actually move Corsair that very next day there. So, right off the bat, Monday, we got some action. Usually, there's not a lot of action going on Monday. Tuesday through Thursday, things get nuts. And this is where you start having trillions of dollars in movement, right? And a lot of these companies dictate whether the stock market goes up or down in a given period. And so if you're talking about any major pullback in the market, if we're going to get something like that, it could very well happen this week, okay? Now, UPS reporting Tuesday before the bell. UPS is one of the most important companies you can possibly watch in the entire stock market if you want to know how the macroeconomic landscape is going in the United States of America and even international, but specifically U.S. They're transporting just about everything that's everything all over the place, right? And so UPS is going to tell us how businesses, what's their guidance like, right? They're going to be able to tell us all those sorts of things. And so UPS, if you don't own the stock, still look at UPS earnings and look at their guidance. Even if you don't, I know I've never owned UPS stock ever in my 12 plus years of being in the stock market, but I always keep an eye on their earnings, and you guys should as well. UPS, very important. You have GE reporting, 3M reporting. 3M's interested me in the past as a potential dividend stock. I'll probably take a peek at their earnings, just the baseline numbers, see if there's something there. You have Waste Management reporting. You have Hasbro reporting. Sherwin-Williams. So Sherwin-Williams is a good play to keep an eye on in terms of the housing market. And a lot of times you'll get to see, are people spending money on their homes? I assume people are spending still a good amount of money on their homes. Maybe not as much as they were the past year when everybody was forced to be home. Now a lot of people are spending less time at home, going out and doing things again, things like that, right? And so that could be a negative for Sherwin-Williams. However, real estate prices have appreciated a lot. And the way a lot of folks look at this is if real estate prices are appreciating, hey, let's go ahead and let's throw some new paint up on the walls, right? And Sherwin-Williams is somebody that directly benefits from that. After the close, oh, you got to be flipping my flapjacks. Oh my gosh, guys, okay? You got AMD reporting, which is a huge retail trader name. I don't want to call it retail trader name, retail investor name. AMD's huge, there's just a ton of people that are invested in that stock and have been for a long time, since that was a $2, $4 stock, and a lot of people have prospered, to be in $100+ stock now. And so AMD's, everybody's got to pay attention to that, and this is another one that if you're thinking, could a stock move something like Corsair Gaming, AMD. A lot of folks have been wondering about chip shortages, what's going on with GPUs, CPUs, things like that. AMD is going to have at least some information on that. NVIDIA is usually a little better gauge overall, I feel, than an AMD, but AMD is still going to be beneficial. You have Mr. Softy, one of the biggest companies in the world, nearly a $2 trillion market cap roughly. They're going to be reporting after the bell. You have Google McDougal, Alphabet, right? Which is a $1 trillion plus market cap, reporting after the bell. I mean, you're talking about trillions of dollars on market cap just on Tuesday after the bell are reporting, right? You have Visa, one of the largest companies in the world. Man, what a beautiful business model. Just make a little bit of money every single time anybody swipes their card. Like, it's just incredible business model, needless to say. You have Twitter reporting. Twitter's never been a stock that's interested me, kind of like Snap doesn't really interest me, because those are more one-trick ponies. Doesn't mean they can't make it. It's just I look at the FB, and that's just, there's so many different facets and so many different areas of growth for a company like that versus somebody like a Twitter. So this is another one that could affect Facebook a little bit, but since Facebook will have already reported their earnings, don't look for much movement in terms of Twitter moving its stock price on Wednesday, because everybody's already going to see the Facebook numbers, the Facebook guidance, and so by Wednesday, don't think Twitter is going to move Facebook's stock price like Snapchat did, okay? You have Robinhood reporting after the bell, which I think Robinhood's going to be an interesting gauge in terms of the retail investor community for the stock market, right? Now, in terms of Robinhood, I don't think their stock market related numbers are going to be high at all. I'm somebody that gets to see directly, day in and day out, how much interest there is in the stock market, right? I watch views for my YouTube channels. I watch views for other YouTube channels that are in the stock market space. I look at forums and where the most action's happening and things like that. And I can tell you, a lot of folks that were in the stock market in November, December, January, February, a lot of those folks that are just trying to see, a lot of those folks have been washed out. We have a very core community now that is emerging in the stock market, and not a bunch of the quote unquote masses are in the stock market right now. Now, on the flip side, and here's where Robinhood gets a little confusing, is Robinhood's crypto business could still put up some very impressive numbers. And we know, generally speaking, a lot of these brokerages, right, that are dealing in the crypto market, they make a lot of money being kind of that middleman there, right? And so in regards to Robinhood, I don't think the stock market related numbers are going to be strong at all. I think they're going to disappoint in a major way. However, don't be surprised if the crypto numbers are at least decent out of Robinhood, or maybe even, dare I say, impressive. And so Robinhood's going to be a fun one to watch, because you don't know, is it going to be the disappointment from the stock market community pull the stock down, or is it going to be the excitement around the crypto community that pulls the stock up? It's going to be one of those two, but I can tell you, it's just not, we're not in a moment like we were 3 quarters ago when everybody was trying to get in the stock market. It's not like that at all right now. You have Texas Instruments reporting, which is one of the biggest semiconductor companies out there. It's going to be an important one to pay attention to there. That can move the semiconductor market in general. Wednesday, massive day before the bell, you have Boeing reporting. Boeing, man, this is a stock I was interested in for a little bit of time when it was really down and out, right? Didn't get in it, but needless to say, Boeing's always just one you want to kind of keep an eye on. It'd be interesting to hear what they have to say about plane orders coming in or not coming in, right? You have GM reporting, You have Coca-Cola reporting, McDonald's reporting, not. I mean, those are big companies and they'll still move the markets. Bristol-Myers Squibb reporting, but they're not really my cup of tea. You have Spotify, you have Teva Pharmaceuticals, and that's about all you got there. But then after the bell, Ford's been a stock I've been thinking about owning for quite a while. Haven't bought it, but I don't know. I like Ford. At the end of the day, I look at how many people in my life that I know that own Raptors, which is their super high-end truck. Obviously, the F-150 lineup is just a beast. And I got to say, I'm seeing a lot of the electric SUVs out there, the Mustang electric SUVs. So, I think Ford's actually doing a decent job. Obviously, they're going to have to, over the next 10 years or so, get their lineup to be fully electric, but I think they're doing a decent job. And obviously, it's not the biggest valuation in the world, right? It's climbed a bit. I think it's up at 66 billion or 70 billion now, roughly. But yeah, might still be something there. TDoc reporting. Teladoc's a stock I've been looking into very deeply recently. I'm not really ready to talk about that one on YouTube yet in depth, because I just haven't done enough research to, when I really want to speak on a high level about a stock, I want to make sure I understand all the way through, and I'm still working on TDoc, okay? But needless to say, I'm going to be watching their earnings like a hawk since I've been doing so much research there recently. You have Twilio reporting. You have Align, which Align could potentially move Smile Direct Club, SDC. It could potentially move Smile Direct Club on Thursday, so keep an eye out for that one there. You have Upwork reporting, which Upwork is a stock I personally own, and Upwork is just, they're just in a great spot. They're one of the biggest players in the freelancing economy, and that's a market that's just going to continue to grow. Like when does a freelancing economy not grow? I think that's a fair question. I don't know when that day is, but it's no time in this decade. That's just a market that's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger over the coming years, right? And they're one of the biggest players, if not the biggest player in that market. That's phenomenal. You have eBay reporting. So eBay was kind of a dead stock for a long time. Let's be quite clear. But the collectibles market has heated up in a massive, massive way over the past year and a half, right? As Rona happened, just collectibles, it just took off like a huge market. And the biggest direct beneficiary of the collectibles market taking off in a massive way is literally eBay. Now, the question for eBay, and this is why you don't want to get too excited about this stock, right, is how long does this collectibles thing keep going for, right? I pay attention to the Pokemon market, and I can tell the Pokemon market's already started to fall a bit in terms of some of the pricing around a lot of different things recently that I was kind of looking at. And so just keep in mind that when it comes to eBay, you don't know how long the whole collectibles market's going to stay hot. The collectibles market, it goes through some just down periods where it's just like, oh my gosh, are these collectibles ever going to peak, right? And then it goes through some hot markets. And so eBay's benefited from that. And if you have a lot less people being into collectibles searching on eBay, what does that mean for their other revenues there? It's some food for thought there. So this is, I think the next 4 quarters for eBay is going to be really vital in terms of seeing what happens there, okay? On a Thursday, this is even a bigger day to me than actually Tuesday, in my opinion. So before the open, you have Shopify reporting, which is one of the fastest growth companies in the world, as we know, and in terms of e-commerce companies, right? An incredible company that's put up amazing numbers. And the question is, where's their business at now that the world's opened back up? Shopify definitely benefited in a massive, massive way from so many folks shifting to online. And what does that mean for Shopify's business model? What's that mean for Shopify's growth rates over the next quarter and over the next several quarters? So that's going to be reported. And then you got MasterCard, Caterpillar. The Caterpillar is one I love to look at, just like UPS. It's never a stock I own. Always a stock that kind of piques my interest, especially as a dividend stock. But when it comes to Cat, this is a stock, guys, that you have to pay attention to because they're going to tell you how the overall construction market's doing. If Caterpillar's numbers are great, the overall construction market and infrastructure market is strong. If Caterpillar numbers aren't, where it's going to be really important is to hear Caterpillar has a nice business in China. What do they have to say about what's going on with the real estate, let's call it crisis in China and that whole situation? And what does that mean for their business over there? You'll get a lot of information about where the Chinese real estate market's going from Caterpillar, literally. Like if you want to hear the most direct player that's going to really give it to you straight and how it is, it's Caterpillar. They're going to tell you, hey man, the Chinese real estate market could be in some major trouble and could be for some time. Or they're going to say, no, from what we're seeing from orders, it looks pretty dang good. So we'll see the truth in the Caterpillar numbers. I can promise you that, okay? Merck, Altria, not really stocks that interest me. Overstock, nothing else there. After the bell, huge. You have Apple and Amazon. Right there, that's $4 trillion plus of market cap is reporting within like 10 minutes of each other. Needless to say, this week is a week that if Apple reports bad numbers, and when I say bad numbers, here's what it means, guys. It means just not impressive enough growth rates, right? Doesn't mean they have to have their revenues go down 40%. All it just has to be is like revenues aren't quite hitting the way folks expect it. That could send the stock down. That could send the whole entire market down because Apple's so big. And you have Amazon on top of that. We'll see what happens. Now, Amazon usually comes in with nice beats. Do they keep putting up those sweet numbers, right? We know everybody was forced to order almost everything online at this time last year. What about now that that's not the case? What does that mean for Amazon's numbers? We'll get the truth on Thursday, needless to say. And so if those two, report kind of like shaky, yeah, look for the market to drop massively on Friday. If it looks okay, then we're in the clear, right? You have United States Steel reporting, which has had a pretty nice turnaround, I must say. You have S-Bucks reporting, Starbucks. I mean, Starbucks is what Starbucks is. Let's just put it that way, okay? You have Western Digital. You have MicroStrategy reporting, which MicroStrategy is the biggest owner of Bitcoin pretty much in the entire stock market. The amount of Bitcoin this company owns is ridiculous, and Bitcoin's been looking pretty good recently. It's been trading even over 60,000, and so MicroStrategy might be in a situation where, they're looking, ultimately at the end of the day, if Bitcoin goes to 500,000 or a million, like some folks believe, right? Which, not everybody has to believe that, but there is a segment out there that believes Bitcoin's going to 500,000 or a million long term, right? If it does that and MicroStrategy just holds their Bitcoin they currently have throughout that runway, I mean, the stock's a 5x, 10x plus stock over the coming years, but that stock is pretty much 100% dependent upon Bitcoin's price and Bitcoin's feelings. Then Friday, you got a lot of big oil reporting there. Doesn't interest me. So, if Friday's the day that I won't even probably be paying attention to earnings, maybe I might take a look at Royal Caribbean just to kind of see what they have to say about cruises and things like that. But needless to say, Monday through Thursday, guys, this is what, you're looking at trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of market capitalization that is literally going to move the market. And this is a very important earnings period. I would say this is probably the most important earnings period that we've had since probably the spring of 2020 when we didn't know what was going on in the market because, there's definitely, there's an under feeling in the market of like, what's really going on here? And I can tell you, we're going to know exactly what's going on with the global economy and what's going on with the United States economy and earnings of the biggest companies that really run the stock market. Because let's be clear, these companies, they run the stock market. If Microsoft, Google, McDougal, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, if these type of companies, Visa, MasterCard, if these companies are doing great, the whole stock market prospers. And if these stocks aren't, look for the market to correct a bit. So I am excited. I'm not making any specific moves out there. I'm just going to be paying attention to things like a hawk. If the market drops in any major way and drops specific stocks that I'm invested in, I'll buy those stocks on the dip. Anyways, guys, let me know if any of your companies are reporting in the comment section this week. I would love to hear from you guys as always. Much love. And by the way, just so you know, we got a free 7-day trial going on for the private stock group. So if you're looking to scale your portfolio to 6, 7, and more figures than that, check out, pin comment down there. Much love as always, guys, and have a great day.